Welcome. Today we're going to do lesson number 3. Lesson number 3 is found on page number 3 of your notes. So, lesson number 3 deals with multiplying polynomials. Okay. Remember lesson number 2, or the previous lesson, we talked about multiplying polynomials of this form: a monomial times a monomial times a binomial, a monomial times a trinomial. Today we're going to talk about multiplying a binomial times a binomial. In order to do that, we're going to use a method called FOIL. FOIL is an abbreviation that stands for F, stands for first term times first term. The O stands for the outside terms times the outside term. The outside term times the outside term. The I stands for the inside term times the inside term. And the L stands for the last term times the last term. So let's see how we apply this method in multiplying these two binomials. Best way to do it is to draw two boxes, such as this one that I'm drawing. You draw an outer box and an inner box. Okay? Then you remember the word FOIL. F stands for first times first. So you're going to do first times first. X times x is x squared. Then we're going to do O, the outer numbers, or the outer terms. So x times 4, positive 4, is positive 4x. And notice that I write in the outer box. Okay? Now we're going to do the I. The I stands for inside times inside. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And then now I'm going to combine them. Negative 3x plus 4x, you subtract, so it would be 1x. And the sign would be positive because 4 is bigger than 3. Okay, so basically I combine these and I get the middle term. Alright, now we're ready to do the L, which is last times last. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. And that's the answer for my multiplication. So let's try to do FOIL again on problem letter B. So we're going to draw our box. We're going to apply FOIL. So the F, first times first, is 5x squared. Then we're going to do the O, the outside times the outside. So 5x times negative 2 is negative 10x. Then we're going to do the inside numbers. Negative 7 times x is negative 7x. Once I have these two numbers, I combine them. Both are negative, so I add, so it is 17x. And sign of the biggest would be negative. And then I'll do the last thing, which is last times last. So negative 7 times negative 2 is positive 14. And that's my answer. Okay, so let's go ahead and do letter C now. Letter C has a number on the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply FOIL first, and I'm going to worry about that number outside later. Okay, so if I apply FOIL, I'm going to do first times first. So y times 2y is 2y squared. And remember, we're going to bring this 2 down, and we're going to put a big parenthesis here for our answer for FOIL, and we're going to deal with the 2 later, okay? So, alright, so we got the first term. Now we're going to do the O, which is y times negative 1. It's negative 1y. And we're going to do the inside numbers. 6 times 2y is positive 12y. Once I have these 2 numbers, combine them, so I get 11y, be positive. Signs are different, you subtract, got 11. Sign of the biggest is positive. Okay, now I do the last, the L. Last times last will be 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. Now that I got my answer here, let's apply the 2 by using distributive property. So that means my final answer is going to be 2 times 2y squared is 4y squared. 2 times 11y is 22y. And 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. So that will be my answer here for this problem. Okay. And our last example, letter D, there's something different because I only have one binomial, but it's raised to the second power. But if you remember, for example, if I write 3 to the second power, that's the same thing if I wrote 3 times 3. With that in mind, let's apply that property over here. 3y minus 5 to the second power is the same if I wrote 3y minus 5 times 3y minus 5. And now we have the same types of problems that we've been solving today. We apply FOIL. We draw the outer box and the inner box, and we apply FOIL. So first times first, 3y times 3y is 9y squared. The outside numbers, 3y times negative 5 is negative 15y. Oops, wrote in the wrong place. It was right on the outer box. So I'm sorry, 3y times negative 5 is negative 15y. Okay, do the inner numbers. Negative 5 times 3y is negative 15y. Now we combine them. Signs are the same. You're supposed to add. And use sign of the biggest, but since they're both the same, just pick one, so the sign is negative. And we're going to do the last. Negative 5 times negative 5 gives you positive 25. And that's our answer. Alright, now it's your turn. Stop the video and try the practice problems 3.1. Once you finish these problems, turn the video back on and check your answers. Welcome back. Let's see what you got for the practice problems 3.1. If you apply FOIL, you draw the box and the second box, and you apply FOIL. So first times first, x times x is x squared. Outside times outside, x times negative 5 is negative 5x. Then we do the I. The inside numbers, 2 times x is positive 2x. And now we're going to combine them. Negative 5 plus 2x is negative 3x. Signs are different. You subtract. Use sign of the biggest. And now we do the last, which is positive 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. And that's our answer. Alright, let's do FOIL again for this next one. So we draw our boxes. First times first, 4x times x is 4x squared. The outer numbers, 4x times negative 1 is negative 4x. Then we do the inside terms. Negative 9 times x is negative 9x. Once I have these two numbers, I combine them. So negative 9, negative 4, signs are the same. You would add, gives you 13x, and you use the sign of the biggest, which is negative 9, negative. And then we do the last times last. Negative 9 times negative 1 is positive 9. And that's our answer. Okay, let's go on to the letter C. Letter C, again, we have a number on the outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep the 3 on the outside there, and we're going to apply FOIL. Once we have the answer for FOIL, we'll take care of the 3. Alright, so FOIL, first times first, x times 3x is 3x squared. O is outside times outside, so x times negative 1 is negative 1x, so you write on the outer box. The I is first times first, I is inside times inside. 5 times 3x is positive 15x. Once I have these two numbers, combine them, I get, signs are different, so you subtract, so you're going to get 14. And because 15 is bigger than 1, this will be a positive, because you use the sign of the biggest digit. And then L, 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. And now we're ready to apply the 3 that we had outside. And if you do that, 3 times 3x squared is 9x squared. 3 times 14x is 42x. And 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. So that will be our answer for letter C. Alright, now let's do letter D. Letter D, basically, we're going to write this again, but now instead of writing with exponents, we're going to write it twice. And then we apply the FOIL. FOIL is first times first. 4x times 4x is 16x squared. O, outside times outside, gives you positive 12x on the outer box. Then we do the I, inside times inside, gives us the inside number here, which is positive 12x. Now that I have these two numbers, combine them, and I get 24x. And then I do last times last, which gives us positive 9. And that's our answer. So this concludes lesson number 3, multiplying polynomials using FOIL. So now you're able to do assignment number 3. Thank you very much for your time, and have a great day.